What's good, boys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be breaking down how we managed to scale our sales team and manage our sales team to start hitting those 50k months, 30k weeks, and really optimize for the best results. Bear in mind, this offer, we started off with absolutely nothing, built it from zero, working with a relatively small sales team. So I'm just going to jump straight into it for you guys. Okay, so without further ado, I'll just jump straight into it. Of course, the purpose of this video is for me to actually break down how we get these results, how we manage the team. I'm not in a club drinking Don Julio, showing my lifestyle, living on the beach in Bali, and it doesn't matter because that's simply not the purpose of this video. But I do also understand that you need something tangible from me so that you listen to me, so that you know that the advice is actually valuable, okay? So as you can see, we do get payments through. We are actually actively doing this, and this is for this one particular offer, okay? So with this one particular offer, it was building it from ground zero and working with a very lean sales team. I'll get into what we're doing and why we are managing it this way is super important compared to an offer where it's already operating at 100k a month and there's 5 sales reps, for example. So to get these results, you need a sales team. Granted, right? But to actually get these results, you need a really, really qualified, vetted sales team, not just anybody. It's not people just jumping on calls to collect payment, because that's not sales. So you need to find talent. That should be your number one priority when you're about to launch this offer, especially if you're building it from ground zero. And there's very, very key things that you do need to look for. So for finding talent, there's 2 key ways to go into it. And I did break this down in a bit more detail in the previous video, but that doesn't matter. So there's direct to rep and there's direct to trainer. So that means reaching out on Twitter, Instagram, or WhatsApp, whatever platforms. I would definitely recommend Twitter as the best way. The reason being, reps, for example, they have a personal brand on there so that offer creators reach out to them and they get placed on offers. And direct to trainer. Trainers have their own personal brand on Twitter. That's where salespeople hang out. And they get people in the coaching program from that platform as well. So that's where this salespeople, remote salespeople, do typically hang out. It's not LinkedIn, it's Twitter. Okay. So if you're looking for something super specific in a role, in a rep, basically, you can go direct to rep. It will take a large amount of your time. I personally wouldn't recommend it as much. You can do it. You can do a mixture. But the best, most high leverage way of doing it, if you're not wanting to spend 5,000 per rep for a recruiter, is direct to trainer. So reaching out to people who already have training programs where they are training up reps, usually either if they're starting out or they do have reps who have already had a previous experience on certain offers, cash collecting 100k, 200, 500, whatever it may be. So if you're reaching out to trainers, you're building up a network with these people, okay? So you can have your calendar looking something like this. And you might think, why the fuck are you wasting your time taking these meetings? Because I need to see if these people are a good fit. I know the offer better than a trainer. I know the offer better than a recruiter. So why wouldn't I invest my time to take these meetings and speak to these people? And it's not as bad as you think. So you schedule a 30-minute meeting with these people. Chances are you've got a loom from them before. You know a little bit of insight about them. Maybe they know a little bit about the offer. So in this meeting, what you need to do is learn a little bit about them. So their previous cash collected, the offers they've sold for, and what they are looking for in an offer, because it does go both ways. After that, you break down the offer. I'm not talking about showing a 20-page doc about every little bit about the product knowledge. No, you just give them an overview of where you're at, where you're trying to take it, what's going on right now, and answering their questions. Effectively, in this same meeting, instead of scheduling a second or third one a few days apart, you want to run a very quick role play. Now, they don't need to be masters of the product knowledge because it doesn't matter at this point. They don't need to be able to pitch you in that role play. All you need to do is an intro, agenda, and discovery, because this gives you crucial insight of how they actually structure their calls and get into them and whether they would actually be a good fit. Okay, so that should only take 30 minutes. It won't take too much of your time. It's worth investing so that you do find the best fit. And on top of that, you need to find someone who's willing to grow with your offer, especially if you're building it from zero. Okay, because there's not already a rep getting X amount. You need to get someone who's dedicated. They see the value in the offer that is getting launched. They definitely want to be part of the team and want to grow with you. So when running these interviews, there's 3 main things you want to check for. One, previous experience, how much cash collected, who have they closed for, have they been a setter before, what industries have they sold for. On top of that, it's demographic fit. Let's say, for example, if you run an offer and the usual prospects are 25 plus, you're not going to go for someone who has sold only e-com to 16-year-olds in the past and they're about 19 years old. It's just not the best demographic fit. Yes, it can work, but it's something you do need to be mindful of when you are looking for reps, basically. And on top of that, it's attitude mindset. This is super important down the line. Do not overlook it. You don't want these people to not show up to meetings, not show up to check-ins, not actually act on the advice that you're giving now. They need to grow with you because it's a growing offer. You're scaling it from zero. Okay. So that being said, just a bit of an overview how it does work with the process and where people fit in. So the lead sources, I've not put them on here, but let's say it's YouTube, for example, YouTube and ads. People from YouTube and ads, they get funneled over to, let's say, a paid school community where they get into an email list and they get hit up by a DM setter to schedule a meeting. Okay, they go to a funnel like this, they fill out the opt-in so that the setter has some insight into them and can call them up as far as how well they are qualified. That being said, go over to the CRM. In this instance, go high level. The sales reps call them up or either confirm meetings, but get them scheduled in or let the meeting go ahead. That then goes to a Google Meet, Zoom, whatever, for the rep to jump on the call with them, and then you get the cash collected. I'll go into a little bit of detail of what's important about this opt-in funnel and the booking funnel in just a moment. So, as far as training these reps, it's very much needed. You can't just expect someone to jump on an offer the next day. They do need to know product knowledge. Some offers maybe less so, some other offers more so. Let's say with this one, it's an agency model, okay? They will need to know certain buzzwords. They will need to know information about about the offer owner that is relevant, okay? So what we do is we provide them our Notion. Our Notion template gives them literally everything, every framework they need, how to track everything, what to do in certain situations, what frameworks to follow, everything they need to know to actually go and get the sale done, basically. We'll go through a usually 1 week training program with them. The more time the better, but a week is minimum, where effectively we'll onboard them to the Notion, go through all the homework that they need to do inside of the Notion, watching the videos, familiarizing themselves with the systems, and then do another mock call and watch the previous call from the interview as well. And essentially the rest of it is actually just doing mock calls with the full system in place. So dragging and dropping everything, actually we'll book something in for them then to jump on a call with ourselves, and just so they are familiar with the whole process. And it's just a whole week of that essentially. We'll give them exactly like the framework, the pitch that they do need. We'll role play it with them, practice with them, make sure everything's up to scratch. They got all the payment links, every common objection, go through previous sales calls if we do have them, which in this instance we did from a previous cohort, and they can pick up the knowledge of what they need to know. Okay, so when you are running them, when they're trained up, they're jumping on calls, you need to check in with your reps every single day, and your setters, and your DM setter. Every single day with all the sales team. They need to be together. They're all working towards a collective goal. Okay? In these meetings, you need to go over previous calls. Okay? Give them the feedback on that. All it takes is going on the Fathom recording, putting it in 2x, speeding through it, finding out what they could have done better with, telling them to change it the next time they do it, and then make sure that they've actually actioned that advice on the next call they've done and get some more closing. So it's constant feedback loop. Now, it's not us just telling them do this, do that, do this, do that. We really do value feedback from the reps. For example, if a lot of the lead traffic is coming from YouTube, for example, and the creators making a certain type of video, and we see common trends in the prospects coming through, maybe they're not completely aligned with the program, we need this feedback from the sales team. Why? Because we can relay this to the offer owner and make the necessary changes to increase lead quality, or if there's too many people who are potentially disqualified, add more qualification questions. So even for this, for example, what's your monthly revenue? we changed this. This was originally how much do you have ready to invest. We realized a lot of people were generally lying, so we changed it to this. And now we have more qualified people coming through. We had situations where there were too many disqualified people on the calendar, so we changed something on the back end to make sure that people with, for example, less than 1,000, making less than 1,000, just don't go through. So it's as simple as just finding talent, walking them through the process, familiarizing themselves, going through extensive training of just mock calls, because that's what they are going to be doing, and reviewing the mock calls, giving them advice. And on top of that, if they are actually actioning what you are telling them, they should hit KPI, not a problem. If they are not, you need to have a conversation with them and potentially get rid of them, because you can always go through the same process again. This is a worthwhile investment to get someone that hits KPI than keeping someone on that is progressively just not hitting KPI. It's as simple as that. But yeah, man, that's it.